like, I got no money. So they've got a problem and they're very aware of that problem. Okay, they're problem aware. So if I come to this person who's problem aware and I'm like, hey, I'm going to show you how to set up an email autoresponder, what's that problem aware person going to say? They're going to say, I'm trying to make money. What does that have to do with anything? What's an email autoresponder, right? They're aware of the problem they have. They have no idea about any of the other stuff. Okay. Now, in the move up this thing, now this is somebody who's aware of the solution. They know they need to make money. They know they got to build a list. They just got to pick which autoresponder they want to have. So now they're solution aware. They're warm traffic. So I can communicate this person different. I can use different language, different verbs, different things because they're solution aware. Okay. And then again, they move up to product aware, which means they know they've got the product. They're trying to figure out how to use it. And then, yeah. So when I talk about cold traffic, warm traffic, or hot traffic, traffic temperatures is what kind of people am I targeting with the traffic I'm driving? Okay, am I targeting people that are just problem aware, like someone they know they need to know, or they know they're trying to make money, or they know they're trying to lose weight, or they know that whatever that issue is. If that's the case, I'm going to communicate to that person differently than someone who's solution aware or product aware. Okay, so cold traffic, warm traffic, hot traffic. Typically, cold traffic is like I'm buying ads on sites that don't know me. Warm traffic is typically like I have a partner or a friend who already has a list and they're promoting me. And hot is like your own traffic, your own audience. Okay. All right. So let me come back to this. Okay. So phase one is traffic temperature. Understanding this ad that I'm placing out here, where's it at? Is it to my own list? If it's my own list, I'm going to communicate differently versus my joint venture partner's warm list or cold Facebook ads or cold Google PPC ads, right? Okay, so that's the first step, is understanding my traffic. Now, my second phase is what I call the pre-frame bridge. Okay, this is the frame that somebody enters your website in. Okay, I learned this concept initially from a guy named Mark Joyner, and he's one of my very first mentors and still one of the smartest marketing guys I've ever met. But he when I first was studying with him, he told me something that had a big impact on me. He said, Russell, not all clicks are created equal. I said, okay, what does that mean? He said, well, think about it. I said, if you go to a website and you see this ad that says, hey, Russell Brunson is a scam artist. He stole my money. He took everything I had and left me with nothing. He's a horrible person. He's about to launch this new product. Click here to check it out. And you came to my website through that pre-frame bridge. What's going to happen when you come right here? Nothing good. You're not going to convert very well at all, right? But if you come through a pre-frame bridge that says, hey, Russell Brunson, his coaching program is the best thing in the world. It changed my life. I was able to lose weight and get more girls and make more money, and everything became better because of him. Everything is awesome. Russell's the best. Click here to check out his new program. And they come through that frame. How does that affect what's going to happen here? Okay, it's like night and day. So understanding this pre-frame, this is the process they go through before they hit your website. You understand that you can manipulate that and make the conversion on everything else in this process become better. Okay, so a hot list, they already love me, they know me, they like me, they're on my list. So my pre-frame is typically very, very short. Usually I'm sending an email out or a blog post saying, hey, I got this new thing, check it out. Okay, because it's warm temperature, this little bridge can be very, very short to go over here. Warm traffic is usually a joint venture partner. So let's say, for example, one of my joint venture partners is like Tony Robbins. So Tony would go and write an email to his list and say, hey, and so this is the pre-frame bridge. Tony's saying, hey, Russell's awesome. This is great, blah, 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 blah. Check this thing out. The bridge is a little bit longer than my own list, but not much. And then boom, they come over here. And now that he set that pre-frame, now they're going to buy my stuff. Okay, cold traffic, now I'm buying an ad on Facebook. They have no idea who I am. They're looking at something else and my face pops up. I'm trying to get them to click on me, right? Now from here, if I drive them straight to my squeeze page, typically it's not going to convert. So I got to warm that person up. I got to send them to maybe an article or a blog post or something where I'm going to provide some value to them so that it warms them up, makes them want to enter this relationship with me. So I put them through that kind of a pre-frame and then I push them to my site and now I can convert that kind of a person. Okay, people always come to me, Russell, I can't convert cold traffic. Okay, it's because you're not warming them up. You got to take them through this pre-frame bridge to get them to the point where they know you, they like you, they trust you enough. Okay, they're really good at driving warm traffic and hot traffic, and then it's so easy because you got these existing audiences that you're just converting. But cold traffic's a different game. Okay, you're driving it different pre-frame, and then the way you communicate to the audience is different. For example, in the how to make money market, cold traffic, my headline over here has got to be something about how to make money, whereas hot traffic could be like, hey, how to make money in webinars, right? Because they already know they want to make money. They're looking for the solution. Okay, they're solution aware, they're product aware, things like that. Okay, phase number one, traffic temperature. Phase number two is your pre-frame bridge. Phase number three now, all this traffic I'm sending here, I got to find out who of all my traffic is actually willing to give me their email address. I'm qualifying my subscribers. Okay, and we do that through a squeeze page. We talked about it a lot so far today. So you do through a squeeze page, they put their email in, they submit, boom, now I've gotten their email address. Now I know who my subscribers are. And because of that, I'm going to spend time and energy to market to them. I'll send them emails. I'll do a bunch of other stuff. But if they're not willing to put their email address in, I'm not going to waste my time with them. Okay. Now, as soon as I've qualified my subscribers, immediately afterwards, I want to find out who my buyers are. Okay. One of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, he told me, he said, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. Someone who buys once will continue to buy over and over and over and over and over again. So when you understand that you just added 1,000 people to your list, don't you want to know who those buyers are? Would you treat them a little differently? Would you do different things for them? I know I would. So I want to find out who those buyers are as quick as possible. I want to find out who is willing to take their wallet out of their pocket, open it up, pull a credit card out, and after they got a credit card in hand, type in the digits and click submit. Because the person that's willing to do that once is going to do it over and over and over again. So I want to identify who those people are immediately. So as soon as they opt in, I'm going to sell them something. And usually for me, it's going to be really, really a sexy, hot offer, but really cheap, really low price point, because I don't want any barriers. I want to find out everyone who's my buyers so I can get them in this buying process where I can keep buying over and over and over again. And that's phase number 4 is I'm qualifying my buyers. Okay. Now that I've got my buyers qualified, I know who my buyers are. Now I want to identify who my hyperactive buyers are. Okay. My hyperactives are people like me who buy a lot of stuff over and over and over again. Okay. So from there, that's when you start selling them upsells. Okay. Usually someone buys a product. I'm sure you guys have bought stuff online before. After someone buys, there's like, wait, I got a special offer for you. Do you want this thing for an extra $97? Hey, do you want this thing for an extra $500? And so what we're doing is we're offering more expensive offers to find out how good of a buyer you are. How hyperactive are you? Because the person who spends $100 in upsell, I'm going to spend more time and effort on than someone who only pays $5 for a front-end product, right? So what I'm doing is I'm segmenting my buyers, finding out who are my good buyers, my better buyers, and my best buyers. Okay, I do that through upsells, and I'm identifying my hyperactives. All right, everything right here, phases 1 to 5, all this stuff happens on your website in the initial sales flow. Okay, I talked about earlier, I called it point of sale. So the point of sale, this all happens usually within like 5 minutes of itself. So it's a very fast process. Now after step 5 is done and we've got the customer, we got the buyer. Now steps 6 and 7, this process goes on for days, months, weeks, years. Okay, number 6, I'm trying to age and ascend the relationship. Okay, we talked about value ladder. I'm trying to start slowly moving them up the value ladder, give them more value, provide more value, offer more things. I'm going to be sending them up this value ladder. And somewhere along the line, though, on the internet, we can only do so much stuff. Okay, online, I really struggle selling things more than about $2,000 or $3,000 online. It gets really hard. The resistance is really high. So somewhere along that line, I can't age them I can't send them any higher than that. And so what I do is I have to change the selling environment. Okay, so for me, what I do is we either get them on the phone, or we send them something in the mail, or we do a seminar or a webinar or something. But I got to change that environment because it takes more for me to sell a $5,000 or $10,000 or $25,000 or $1 million package. You've got to change the environment. So somewhere along the line, you got to take them off this online thing and change the environment, and now you can sell them your higher ticket, more expensive things. Okay, and so that's kind of how a funnel works. Those are the 7 phases of a funnel. All right. Now, what's cool, and I'll show you kind of in the next step, is that when I'm building out a funnel, this is the first thing I look at. Okay, what are the phases we're taking them through? Now that I've got that, now I come back and I say, okay, for this phase number 3 right here, what are my options? Okay, we got squeeze page here, but there's probably 4 or 5 different ways I can qualify my subscribers, right? And then buyers, there's 4 or 5 different ways I can qualify my buyers. There's a bunch of ways I can send my audience. All these things, there's different ways I can do that. So because of that, we created what I call the 23 building blocks of a funnel. Okay, and this is literally I spent a long time going through all of our funnels, and I realized that I was doing this over and over and over again, but I was doing it in different ways. Okay, so right here, the pre-frame bridge. So the pre-frame bridge we talked about, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 types of pre-frames that we use in our company. Okay, pre-frame number 1 is a quiz. If you guys ever noticed on my list, you've had me send you to a quiz before, right? I send a lot of traffic to a quiz. Okay, it's a pre-frame. And the quiz, by the way, I think right now is probably the best pre-frame that we're using. I don't know if they'll be the same way in a year from now, but right now quizzes are working like crazy. I don't know why. Articles, if I send someone an article, that's a pre-frame. If I go to like a news website or a news blog or something like that, again, a blog, video, sometimes I send people to a YouTube video, and from there I send them over to my squeeze pages through email or through a pre-sale page. Okay, so I'm creating my new campaign or my new funnel. I say, okay, for my pre-frame bridge, which one do I want? Do I want a quiz, an article? I just pick one of these, okay? You may say, Russell, what's the best? It just depends. I just try different things. Sometimes this is gonna be the best, sometimes this is gonna be the best. You just play with it. It's this whole marketing thing, there's a science and there's an art, right? And everyone's always like, Russell, I just want the science. What's the best thing? But you have to understand there's the art part too. And if it was just a complete science, then every funnel would work perfectly if you just copied it. But it doesn't, because people, they get used to it and they start seeing the same thing over and over and over again. It stops working. And so it's the art behind it that makes it change and be different. So if I have a list and I'm sending quizzes a bunch of times, eventually quizzes will stop working. So then I got to send out a video the next time or send out a blog, and I'm just changing this pre-frame and seeing what my audience responds to. Okay, going from Facebook to a quiz works awesome. Okay, going from YouTube to another video works awesome. Going from one blog to another blog works awesome. A lot of times we'll match where we're driving the traffic to with the type of pre-frame bridge we're using as well. Okay, so those are the building blocks for a pre-frame. Okay, next step in our process, we're trying to qualify our subscribers. So how do I do that? Okay, squeeze page is one we showed you a lot. It's an easy way to qualify subscribers. Pop-ups we use a lot. Okay. A squeeze pop is like a button on my site. I click a button and it pops up, and then I put their name and email address in there. Okay, a free plus shipping. Some of you guys have seen like our free DotComSecrets Labs book. We have a free plus shipping where step number 1, you give me your shipping address and your email, and step number 2, we bill you. But when they fill out step number 1, they're added to my list. So I use a 2-step free plus shipping process to qualify my subscribers. Sometimes I drive people to a webinar registration. They register for my webinar, and boom, now they're a subscriber. Sometimes I give people a free account to something. Like, hey, they'll go create a free account over here. They create a free account, and boom, it turns them into a subscriber. Sometimes I have an exit pop where they're on my site and an exit pops out. They fill it in, and boom, they've joined my list. Okay. So those are a bunch of different building blocks for qualifying subscribers. Okay. Now, the reason why I call these guys building blocks, like when I was designing this, I was thinking about Legos. Like we went to Legoland with my kids a little while ago, and you know, they go and they build Legos, and so they stack them on and build this whole thing. And I was thinking about this, like, this is kind of like Legos. If I'm building a funnel, okay, my pre-frame bridge, which Lego am I going to use first? Then I got to qualify my subscriber. What's the next Lego? Buyers, boom. And I start building out these little building blocks in my funnel. Okay, next is my qualifying of my buyers. Okay, a lot of ways I can qualify them. I can do a free plus shipping offer. I can do a trial, like a $1 trial offer. That'll qualify a buyer. I can create a tripwire, which is like a $7 product. I can create a self-liquidating offer, which is like a $37, $47 product. Or I can do a straight sell, which is just a straight out sell of a $100,000, $500,000 product. Okay, I can use all these different things to qualify buyers. Russell, you're probably saying, Russell, which one's the best? Okay, again, all of them. We do different ones at different times. Okay, they all have a point and a purpose. Right now I'm just giving you the building blocks, so you'll see how easy and how quickly we can start building out funnels in the future after you understand these core concepts. Okay, and then the fourth one here is how to identify buyers in heats. We do it with bumps. So what a bump is when somebody buys something, like if you buy DotComSecrets Labs, some of you guys probably didn't notice this, but this little bump increased our front end revenue by 34%. Okay, it's like magic. So step number 1, you put in your credit card. Step number 2, step 1, you put in your shipping. Step 2, put in your credit card. And right before you click submit, there's a little thing there, 2 sentences that says, hey, for $37, you want me to give you my the commission crusher sales template that out-converts everything else. 34% of the people, or 34 to 37, I can't remember the exact number, click that little bump and boom, it adds it to their order. Okay, so that's what a bump is. It's like on the order form. Then after somebody buys, we have a one-time offer. Like, wait, we got a one-time offer. Do you want to buy it? If they say no to that, then we offer a downsell. Like, okay, if you don't want to buy that, well, here's a downsell you can look at. And then if they don't buy that, then we can refer other things. Hey, check out this guy's product. Check out this thing, and we can recommend other things. Okay, so these are in that sales funnel process. These are the different building blocks. So anytime I'm creating a new sales funnel, a new anything, I'm just looking at these kind of things and figuring out which building blocks I want to use. Okay, and again, you guys, the key with this is we're in the business of like interrupting patterns, like doing lots of different things. And so that's why we need all these different tools, because you never know which one you're going to need, what's going to be the right thing. Sometimes we're doing webinars, sometimes we're doing, tripwire, sometimes we're doing bumps. It just kind of depends on the offer and the funnel. Okay, now front end versus back end funnels. Okay, this is again what we talked about is on the front end. Usually on the front end of your the front end funnel, you're looking at more cold traffic. Middle, you're looking at warm, and back end, you're looking at hot. So this is an image this is the cool one I just created like 2 days ago. So this is your value ladder, right? Now in your value ladder, different types of funnels are going to be different types of your value ladder. Okay. Typically at the bottom of the value ladder, this is where someone doesn't really know you yet. They haven't received value. You're trying to give these guys a bunch of value, right? This is cold traffic. Okay. This is cold down here typically. So I'm going to create offers that are going to get somebody in. So there's two kinds of offers I typically create on the front end of my value ladder. First is a free plus shipping offer, or second is an SLO, self-liquidating offer. And we'll talk about these here in a second. Okay. So I'm coming after cold traffic. Now, if I got warm traffic, I'm moving them up the value ladder. And if I'm doing that, typically I'm selling them through one of these ways, either through a perfect webinar, we're going to talk about here in a second, or an invisible funnel style webinar, or a product launch funnel. Okay, this is what I'm selling typically more my warm traffic, people that already have a relationship, or they're more, again, they're more solution aware here in the middle. Or the back end is where I'm selling my expensive stuff, okay, my high ticket stuff, the top of my value ladder. I'm using that through a high ticket 2-step that we'll talk about, or from a black box funnel. Okay, and then for my continuity, I'm typically doing it through continuity or a micro continuity funnel. Okay, so if you guys look at this is your value ladder we talked about at the very beginning, and then here are all different sales funnels we use at different levels of the value ladder. Does that make sense? So what we're going to be doing in the next section that I think is kind of cool is I'm going to show you guys how we structure each of these sales funnels and then the sales scripts we use for each of them. Okay, and this is going to save you 10 years of trial and effort, because this is like everything that I've ever done and learned and figured out. And we're giving it to you guys here, and I think you're going to love it. So I want you guys just to burn this image in your head, because this is going to cement everything we talked about earlier with the value ladder, now with all these different sales funnels. Okay, a lot of people get confused because there are a lot of different types of sales funnels. They're like, well, Russell, you gave me 9 sales funnels, or 6 sales funnels, whatever it is, or all these different sales funnels. Which one do I use? And it depends. Like where in this path are you taking someone? Okay, if I'm driving traffic from Facebook and from Google and more cold traffic, I'm going to be promoting a free plus shipping offer and an SLO. Okay, and that's I'm going to be building my list, building my buyer list, things like that. Now that I got my buyer list, now I'm going to be doing a webinar or an invisible funnel webinar to these guys, or a product launch. I'm going to be selling products that are kind of in the $200 to $2,000 range in here. Now I got people that are buying these. Now I got to send them up from there. I'm going to push people to my high ticket 2 steps, to my black box funnel. Here's where I'm selling my $5,000 to my $25,000 to my $1 million programs. That makes sense? So usually, again, if you look at value ladder, price is low down here. So I'm going anywhere from, I'd say from $0 to $97, I'm selling through these 2 funnels. From $97 to $2,000, I'm selling through these funnels. From $2,000 to $100,000, I'm selling through these funnels. And then these are our continuity funnels to put people into continuity. All right. Now, before the funnel begins, we're about to break down all those different sales funnels and scripts. These are some things that I think are important to address before we get in the funnels, because they're core fundamentals to really understand. So the first thing is to get somebody into any funnel. There's a script I use. It's a simple one. I call it the inquire interrupt. Okay, because if you look at people online, right, they're going to a website, they're reading a blog, they're on Facebook, all this stuff's happening around them, right? And you've got like 1 second to grab that person's attention and suck them into your sales funnel, right? And so to do that, you've got to very quickly, very fast grab their attention, right? And you got to do it through a lot of different means. And so the best example that I think of in the offline world is when you're at the grocery store and you're going through this checkout line, and there's Twix and Snickers and Reese's and Tic Tacs and people and crying babies and checkout, and all this stuff's happening around you, right? It's crazy. And then boom, all of a sudden you see these National Enquirer magazines. You see big, huge headlines like 300-pound baby, and boom, you see that thing, right? And that makes you grab the National Enquirer magazine. So I'm curious right now, who of all of you guys who are on this webinar right now, how many of you guys actually read the National Enquirer? Go to the comment section, just let me know, because I'm curious how many of you guys actually read it. Okay, I'm not getting anyone to admit to it. Okay, so this all you guys have said no. This is the best thing, you guys. So National Enquirer, or the Star, or whatever you want to call it, the tabloids, right? Nobody will ever admit that they read it, yet it's the most highly circulated newspaper in the world. Okay? So that's important to understand, you guys, because no one wants to do it, but it works. Okay? These headlines grab people attention. And so if you look at online, it's the same things. If you guys look at news sites and look at the banner ads that pop out, those banner ads are like National Enquirer interrupts, right? It's like this little headline that grabs you, like, what? And then boom, they got you. It's a slippery slope. They get you into their funnel. It creates mass curiosity. Okay? So let me show you. This is what